Good morning, everybody. Here we go. It's Monday morning, so we go through my week in numbers. By the way, if anybody wants to actually read along with these, all you got to do is go to mrselfstorage.com, put your email address, and then I'll send you a doody little email every single day. It's where the cool kids hang out of storage. That doesn't make sense. It's where the storage cool kids hang out. Right. Okay, so last week, as ever, there's some really good things and there's some not so good things. Overall, I think it was a very, very, very good week. Well, it's a very good week. We only did 25 or 26 reservations, and we aimed for 30 a week. So that's not, all right. Anyway, so that's not amazing. But we was net 1,800 square foot, which is really, really good. And then on the other side, we didn't take much money. We only took like £32,000. So there's some good and there's some bad. Right, let's get on with it then. 116 quotes. On the face of it, not too bad. Over the 5 sites, 116 quotes. Yeah, I think that's good. Anything over 100 is acceptable. Anything below 100, then we've got a little bit of not a little bit of a problem, but obviously you want more quotes. You can't really do anything if you haven't got the quotes. So we're plus 1,825 square foot. These are the headlines, by the way. Reservations was 26, but we've got 2 reports. And on Space Manager, we use Space Manager and Stora. And Space Manager, one of the reports is saying 26, and one of the reports is saying 25. It comes from Willoughby. Willoughby's, it's saying 12 reservations on one report and 11 reservations on another report. So I don't quite know which one is true. So we're going to go with 12. We're going to go with 12. Obviously, the higher number. So reservations last week, we did 26. That's a conversion rate of 22% quotes to reservations, which isn't great. We want it a little bit higher than that. We want really, if you're doing 116 quotes, we should be doing around about 33 reservations. So we are a little bit down on that. We're going to be hitting 30%. Move-ins, we had 30 move-ins last week, which is really, really good. So move-ins, quotes to move-ins to quotes was a conversion rate of 26%. I'm not too happy. I'm not too unhappy with that. I think that's acceptable. Right, let's have a look at the money we took. I'm scrolling down. I already told you that last week it wasn't brilliant with revenue. It was £32,115 and 50 pence, because we all need to know that 50 pence. Mansfield, we took £2,106. Not great for Mansfield. At Wrexham, we took 4,909. That's pretty good. Clough Road, we took 6,954, which is a little bit on the low side. And at Beverley, we took 3,965. And then at Willoughby, we took 14,180. So again, on the low side, we want to be hitting at least £40,000 a week now. And we're way off it last week, way off it. So hopefully, obviously it's a small sample size. Hopefully this week we can take more money. Right, let's have a look at the reservation report. We had 2 people book online out of our 20. Have we done it here? Out of our 20, we put it here, 25 reservations. So that's 8% of our reservations booked online. James was the top dog this week with 8 reservations. How else did everybody else do? Angela did 7. Well done, Angela. Jack did 5. KTO did 3. And Claire did 0. Wait, so that's my wife, by the way, if you don't know. I'm going to sort her out. And when I said she only literally works 2 days a week, and most of the time she's doing other administration stuff. So we'll let her up. We'll give her a little bit of a pass, but maybe a verbal warning. Nobody tell her, because not that I'm scared of her or anything like that, but just, yeah, let's not tell her. Right, Willoughby, 34 quotes. We had average quotes per day was 4.86. Number of reservations, 12. So that's not too bad at all. 35% conversion rate at Willoughby. So really happy there. Move-ins, we had 11. And that's a 32% conversion rate. Again, really happy with that. Luton Van was rented out 7 times. 7 out of 7. So that's pretty goddamn good. We moved in 895 square foot last week. Again, I want to be hitting the 1,000 square foot. So it's not too bad, but it's not perfect yet. So I want to be hitting the 1,000 square foot. And we moved out. This is really good. 385 square foot. So we gained 510 square foot. So again, I'm over the moon with that. I anticipated around about 500 square foot this week, and we finally got it. So we're finally back on the upturn at Willoughby. 510 square foot net. I'll take that, my friends, especially with it being February. We had 11 rooms moved in, 5 moved out. So we've got 327 internal rooms occupied. Containers, 2 moved in, 1 moved out. So we've got 42 occupied. The store occupancy is back above 70%. It's 71%. 71.16 to be precise. So that's pretty good. Well, no. It's pretty good compared to where it was last week. We need to be 85% plus this summer. Need to be. The average revenue, average merchandise sales was £8.94. So that's rubbish. We want to be £25 there. The insurance, again, on the lower side, 5,909 is the average insurance sold last week. We aim for 6,000. That is what our aim is. This next week, we haven't got many move-ins and we haven't got many move-outs. We've got 325 to move in and 335 to move out. So it's suggesting here we're going to be 10 square foot down. I think we're going to be around about 300 square foot up, hopefully. Right, let's move on to Clough Road. 35 quotes. That is mental. But look at this, still rubbish at the conversion rate. 5 move-ins and 5 reservations. That's a 14% conversion rate for both them two. That, my friends, is a shocker. We're going to have to look into what is people's objections here, because we're getting the quotes, but around that area, it is very, very competitive. And there's self-storage is open in left, right, and centre. And we are still the highest price because we're the best. I don't say that to be a douchebag, but we got Nokia technology, etc. There's a lot of container parks around us. There's an old, really, really old Armadillo. We're a new building on right next door to Starbucks. So it just goes to show that sometimes it's not the be. I used to believe that if you outpositioned everybody, it doesn't matter how competitive the area was, because if you outposition people, you'd be all right. But that isn't necessarily true. And not that Clough Road's doing bad or anything like that. We actually moved in 660 square foot last week. We moved out 375, and the net return was 285. So we're actually up in square footage last week. We're around about the 70% full. I've done a deep dive in the newsletter, how much money we're making at Clough Road. We're making like close to 20 grand a month. So it's doing really well, but it could do better. And I think my expectations for Clough Road are really, really high. Don't get me wrong, we're absolutely cock on with our projections. We're absolutely neck and neck with our projections. But I want more. I've got high expectations of what we can achieve, what I can achieve, and it's just a little bit subpar at the minute. I think so. But obviously it's February right now, and that can all change. And I feel like that because Mansfield's done so well, I feel like that this has really put Clough Road in a negative light. I mean, how ridiculous, making 20 grand a month. Well, I don't think it's quite 20 grand. It might be 16 grand a month. I can't remember. But and you're unhappy with it. I mean, have a word with yourself, Dean. But yeah, just got high expectations. All right. Insurance. So the average insurance last week was £10,000. That is really, really good. So that's good. We've got 1 move in this next week for 100 square foot and 3 move outs for 225 square foot. So not great. Beverly, 6 quotes. Not a lot of quotes, but am I concerned? No, because we're currently 85% full. The competition are doing pay-per-clicks. We're not doing pay-per-clicks at the minute. Should we? If I was coaching me, what would I say? I'd say, get doing pay-per-clicks. Why are you doing pay-per-clicks, you idiot? But at the minute, yeah, it's not a worry because we're not getting a lot of quotes, but we haven't got a high churn rate here because it's a mature site. And so the great thing is with a mature site that things don't change quickly. And so if there's a problem, you've got time to react. You've got a hell of a long time to react. 85 square foot, 85% full, and we're in February. So not worried at all. We're taking the most money we've ever taken at Beverly. The revenue is really, really good. So it's something that it's certainly something to watch because of the amount of quotes. But with 85% full, it's not a problem at the minute. How many people? Oh, we've got no move outs next week. We've got 1 move in, 80 square foot. We moved in 320 square foot this last week, and we moved out 240. So we're net 80 square foot. We've got 81 units rented out. The average insurance last week was £12,000. So overall, I'm very, very happy with it. But it's just something to keep an eye on with the amount of quotes we're getting. It obviously the other site, because they're pushing pay-per-clicks now, can't be full, and so and we're far more expensive than them. And there's another self-storage opened as well. So it's just something to be aware of. And I don't think it's a bad thing that we're aware of these things. I think it's a good thing. But at the minute, yeah, can't complain. Last week we did one reservation out of the 6 quotes. That's a 17% conversion rate. We had 2 move-ins, a 33% conversion rate. So yeah, overall, Beverly gets a green light. But it's just something to be aware of, the amount of quotes we're getting there. Right, on to Wrexham. 22 quotes at Wrexham, which is really good. Number of reservations is 3. However, because Wrexham is so full, then we haven't got a lot of smaller size units. So that's the problem. So we've turned people away for smaller size units. At the minute, we are doing a little bit of work at Wrexham, and we're going to introduce some smaller size units. So the conversion rate, don't look at the minute, because we've got to turn the smaller size units away. So the conversion rate, obviously, of 3 reservations is 14%. We moved in 6 people last week, so the conversion rate of quotes to move-ins is 27%. We moved in, get this, 885 square foot last week. Crazy for Wrexham. That's a lot of move-ins. And we moved out 540. So we're net 345. I can't tell you what percentage full we are, because I don't have that data there. I don't know why, but we don't have it. Average insurance is £7,000. I think Wrexham is about, with the containers, because we've got more containers now, I reckon it's about 85% full. We just keep on buying more containers because we've got a container park. And so, yeah, we're on the lease up at Wrexham with containers. We can put a container park in there. And I think we've got like 18 containers now. I think 15 full, something like that. Anyway, yeah, £7,000 average insurance last week. So that's really, really good. 2 move-ins due this next week for 150 square foot. 1 move out for 100 square foot, which will be nice to free up an indoor 100 square foot, because when we can fill it for more expense than we're currently getting, because obviously street rates are going up at the minute because it's the time of year. We're preparing for summer, so we're just increasing the price a little bit. So the rent per square foot, revenue per square foot will be increasing. Right, Mansfield, 19 quotes, so not great at all on the quote front at Mansfield. Really poor, in fact. We want to be hitting around about 28 quotes there. We moved in 695 square foot. We did 5 reservations. So that's a conversion rate of 26%. We moved the move-ins were 6. We did 6 move-ins. So that's a conversion rate of 32%. So the conversions, I like the reservations to be a little bit higher. The conversions for quotes to move-ins is pretty good. Last week we moved in 695, as you know, and we moved out 90 square foot. So we're up 605 square foot at Mansfield. So really, really, are we up every single site? Let's have a look. I can't remember. It was Clough Road. And Clough Road was still up. I think every single site was up. It was. Holy moly. Every single site was up last week. A full house, my friends. That is brilliant. Right, so look at the little cheesy little grin on my face. I didn't even know that until just now. This is why it's why I find it so valuable to run through these figures. It's almost like I'm coaching myself. It's great. So amount of rooms moved in, 6, 2 moved out. So that's 109. 109 units occupied. We've got 2 people moved in for our containers, so we've got 10 out of 10 containers occupied, which is good. We are currently 56% full, and yes, I've got a message from Dave Davies this morning saying, Dave, you know the rules. When you're full, you order some more. I'm like, yes, Dave, I've done it. So thanks for that message, Davey. What? Davey? Dave fucking O'Brien and Davies. Sorry, Dave. Sorry. Right, insurance. Finally, we're over the £6,000 mark. We aim for £6,000 of our insurance minimum, and we had an average of 6,166 last week. So that's really, really good per move-in, that is. Next week, we're due to move in 7 people for 650 square foot. We're due to move out 1 for 25 square foot. So again, it's going to be a really good week at Mansfield. Mansfield is just absolutely booming. I think we're occupied 11,600 square foot, and we haven't been open 4 months yet. It is mental. We've done everything right. No, I've done a podcast about this before. We haven't done everything right, but we've made the big decisions. They've been right. They've been correct. So that is really, really good. Right, let's have a look at our Google Analytics. 25 reservations across the sites, and that means that we converted. So we had 25 reservations, so we don't include Beverly 24. because that's a different website. So 25 Stormore reservations. We had 726 new visitors to our website. And by the way, it's because that's increased probably 20%. And the reason being is I was on a really, really popular podcast, GMC Claire, last week, and loads of people have come for a nosy. On that podcast when it was released, I think we had 2 consecutive days where I was pushing 200 visitors. So it skewed the figures. And obviously, if I put myself out there like a podcast and stuff like that, then it's going to skew my data. My data is not going to be correct. Well, it is correct, but it's going to have an impact on the data. So 25 reservations last week, and that's a 3.4% conversion rate. Again, if I was coaching somebody, by the way, I keep saying this, if I was coaching somebody because I'm creating that course that's released on Friday. Oh my God, what a lot of work. But I am proper giving everything away. I couldn't, genuinely, hand on heart, I couldn't be proud of it. And even my wife says to me, why are you doing this? Why are you literally giving everything away? And there's some things I haven't even mentioned on the podcast, some of the things that we do that I haven't mentioned on the podcast, and I'm giving it all away. And this, I swear to God, this isn't a sales tactic at all, although it could be. Yeah, and my wife said, why are you doing this? You're hating yourself. I'm like, yeah, but I enjoy it. And I can't lie. Obviously, I've done this podcast for so long, and I'm all about making. I am about. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. I want to make money, and so I'm thinking, well, wait a second. I think in a year, I could clear a couple of $100,000 from doing this. She goes, yeah, but that's small fries compared to what, if we find a site, for example, like we've got a site up in Scotland. That site, I know that's going to be worth a couple of £1 million. And so when you're saying 200,000, you can clear in a year. What's 200,000 when all you got to do is find your own site? If you lose out from one site because you give something away, then it's a net negative. I'm like, yes, I get it, but I don't know. I feel like, not a calling. That sounds ridiculous. I genuinely feel as though it's something that I can do to help other people, and I just wish that there was somebody out there when I started to help me to find a site, and it'd have saved me absolutely so much time, effort, money, and yeah. So it's coming out Friday. All being well. There's a frigging lot of work, but yeah, I'm going to be recording the sessions on Wednesday, Thursday, and we're mapping it out. Right now, I'm mapping out which goes where, which section goes where, and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, really, really excited about that. Conversion rate is 3.4%, as I said last week, and the health and fitness. I went to gym once, but I did run 20.5 miles last week. But this week it's going to be much better. All right, my friends, that is it. I'm going to go because I'm going to take the kids to school. I love you. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow.